Hello, this is Ash and this is Crack Minis, and today I'm going to be doing some kit bashing. Or is it scratch building? I'm not sure, you decide. Alright, seeing as I basically made this up as I went along, I'm not going to be doing any drawings in this one. So we start off by making a little clay man, and we're going to use that as a base, so we can build up on top of it. Once I got him to the shape I wanted, and into the position I wanted, I baked him in the oven till he was rock hard. Okay, now that I've got my little clay man, I'm going to pull out some of this wire coating. I take the wire out the inside of it, and I'm going to use it as piping for the joints, just so I can build up around it and hopefully show them later on. And once that's done, I can get these bit boxes out and get started. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to get our bit boxes out and we're going to start gluing stuff to this. Let's hope for the best. We're going to need a few things before we can get started properly. I need a knife, some snips, and my super glue. I guess it's time to get gluing. I started with his back and his hands. I figured those would be the easiest places to do. I think the back piece is a Tau Battle Suit chest plate. And for the hands, I'm going to guess aggressive flamers. I mean, I'm probably going to end up playing Name That Bit this entire episode. Just I actually don't know where the shoulder pad came from. It's just a random one. I think it was from a repulsor? Maybe? Grandma's repulsor? Like a tank piece? I think it's a tank piece. Maybe you know. Comments below. This is an actual non-GW part, so that it's from a model I had, like a robot that I was 3D printed, and then I dropped it and it smashed into like a million pieces. So I threw it in the bits box. I made the chest piece out of some defiler parts I got randomly when what I did was I bought some bits, like, specifically because I wanted like a couple pieces in there. And, yeah, it came with like a sprue with a load of defiler parts still on it. So yeah, that's where the chest piece came from. I don't know where I got that part from, but it seemed like the best place to put it. Oh yeah, I have a story for this one as well. I'll save it to the end, but I wrote it down. No unplanned things in this one. Just doing my best. Dreadnought fingers. Dreadnought fingers. I think I'm definitely going to call this a scratch build. Not that it didn't feel like kit bash because I was using bits of other kits to stick it together, but yeah, definitely a scratch build because, well, I didn't really have a massive plan. All I was doing was just throwing bits on, hoping for the best. Ooh, I think that's an Ogren shoulder pad. There's going to be some dead air here because I can't think of what to say. Like and subscribe. I ended up being like proper happy with his legs, so I just got rid of him. You know, snippy, snippy. But don't worry, I made him new ones using gun pieces. I put a tiny little skull in his neck hole after I chopped the head off, obviously. I did that off camera. And I put it on a base. First one was straight trash, so I changed that in a minute. You'll see. Now I'm just filling in some gaps and making some neck piping with Milliput Superfine White. And that's the new base. I used some Warlord character tiles, you know, the ones that you actually supposed to put the models on as actual floor tiles. I thought it seemed like a good idea because they're pretty big, but the model's bigger. And I used some terrain paste. Here's the recipe: filler, glue, paint, baking soda. I think that's everything. Oh wait, I forgot sand. Here we are, ready for a priming. I always like when you see a model after you've primed it. It just shows everything just looks bare. It's all uniform and now it's time for the story I mentioned earlier. Okay, so bear with me because I've wrote this down. I'll do my best. Well, we're gonna start by naming this guy. We're gonna call him Peter. Peter was a soldier in one of the many, many wars that plagued Earth during his time. But at the end of the war, they offered him a job. They offered him a job being an explorer. Sent on a mission into deep space to gather data on planets deemed viable for human habitation, because all the wars and everything had wrecked Earth. Anyway, so he's like, yeah, sound, I'll go. And he goes. Like 10 years into this mission, everything's going great. He's finding these planets, sending reports back. They've given him this AI companion. It's built into his suit, talks to him and stuff, so he doesn't have to cope with the loneliness of deep space. And one day, they're flying middle of nowhere, not even close to the nearest star system. And a stray asteroid hits them. There's nothing they can do. They're not close enough anywhere to find a way to escape or land. So he has to climb into the escape pod. Anyway, because the ship's failing. He's gonna die if he doesn't, and it puts him into stasis. Right, where am I? He goes into stasis, hoping and hopefully to wait until help arrives. Only problem is no one's gonna show up. There's another war that's broke out on Earth, so he gets forgotten about. So he's lost in space, frozen in time. But his AI isn't frozen in time. It still works, and it runs off the power from the reactor in Peter's suit. So he starts reaching out into deep space, just trying to find an answer, trying to get help, anything to wake Peter up, rescue him from his eternal slumber. And eventually, after a long time, someone signals back. I wish I could say it was a good one, but it's not. Pete was saved, but it was by pirates. These pirates were hunting for technology from ages past. What Peter and the AI didn't know, well, obviously Peter didn't know because he was asleep, but the AI is that he's been in stasis for nearly 1,000 years. And now these pirates have found him, and they want all this technology, even if they have to cut it off him. And that's exactly what they did. Now, I need to tell you a bit about Peter's suit. It's almost one of a kind, fitted with a very rare AI that adapts for its users' needs in the rigours of deep space travel. Made with one goal in mind, and that's to keep its user alive, no matter what. This includes absorbing other technology as it sees fit, including the very things that these pirates are using to remove the suit. So I told you before, Peter was a war hero and then an explorer. And he spent most of his adult life at war. And he's just woken up from extended stasis in agony and absolutely covered in weapons. So what do you think he's going to do? I hope you enjoyed that story. I did try my best. If you've made it this far and you're watching me paint details onto this little skull, I changed that, by the way, did you notice? I'd like to say thank you, and if you haven't already, like, or just subscribe, maybe leave a comment. I would very much appreciate it. Now it's time for my favourite part, the glam shots. Let's look at it spin. Kind of can't believe how happy I am with the blood effect on this.